matches to determine who's going to be actually making it to the playoffs. So I can't wait to see who wins this one.
Yeah, and starting off on the defensive side, we have F3, FlipSid starting out here, and I think as we talked about in the past, bottom bomb site, which they're choosing right now, is favorable towards the defenders.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But seeing as how well both teams have strategies down, I'd say it's pretty darn even.
You know, to be honest, anything can go here. It really, honestly, it comes down to which one of these teams practice which strats beforehand.
Yep.
Like, let's say FlipSid. Let's say that they practice a strat to counter a blue construction take, and we have B3. They come out of nowhere and they're going back. They're going back old school, and they start doing a Moto Church take. Well, okay, that's now FlipSide's responsible to change it back up and see what they can do with that. Although looking at this right now, I'd say based upon the fact that Hot and Cold is playing Bandit, they are looking to counter a Moto and Stairs take. Which is interesting to me because that's a little bit behind. It's not as commonly done anymore, but we'll see, you know.
Yeah, it's almost like a similar lineup to what we saw at the Season 2 LAN Finals, where the majority of the pushes from the attackers came down that main stairwell toward the back church and decided that, hey, let's get this wall opened up.
Yeah, no, like I said, that's a little bit more of an old strat. It is Season 2 World Finals. The Season 2 World Finals, as of now, is considered outdated. Obviously, here we're looking at a construction open. Now, that makes me think that what's going to happen next is he's going to go ahead and open the stock drop, because there's not a whole lot of reason to open the Moto drop and the construction drop, although I've seen some teams do it. I'm curious to see how they handle this attack, honestly.
Yeah, I'm actually quite astonished that NVK is going to try to push this with it, knowing that there's going to be a shotgun somewhere inside of this tunnel. He was droned out. He heard the shotgun blast. He knows it's a Valkyrie. Now, pushing this in, not quite sure.
Pretty dangerous.
Very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
Not quite sure how it's going to bid for him. Capital is actually going to lead the way, but King George, I think, has a cam and was able to spot him.
I like the way King George is
going out. Here comes the nade. King George barely gets around the corner, and he's going to try to make a quick push here in just a few seconds, although I think they're going to say, nope, let's back out of here. Smoke's grenade was spectacular there. Gassed him out, downed him down to about 60, 70 health there. Made him even drop the diffuser. So,
wow.
With that, there's the push for the first minute and a half. Now, smoke grenade, gas grenade was perfect right there.
Yeah, you got to factor in that was put there preemptively. Oh.
Ooh, and there's King George killing Blackbeard. Like I said, trying to push down that tunnel when there's a shotgun on the other end, not the best idea to do. But nice Valk cam by King George.
I really like what I'm seeing from FlipSid here, investing all this utility in holding that tunnel.
Yeah, and so Young has managed to make his way down through the garage tunnel, close to the generator, and Necrox is actually inside the arsenal room. Looks as though he also came in as well. Retro will pick up the kill into Hot and Cold as Necrox gets the double headshot onto Easy Peasy. With one of the defenders outside now, looks as though he's going to try to come in. He actually escaped through the tunnel, came in through kitchen. Pojo Man inside a church. The diffuser goes down inside an arsenal room. King George shotguns Retro. It is now a 2v3. Again, diffuser has been planted. Canadian's going to smoke off the garage hallway. Pojo Man picks up the kill into Necrox. It's now a 2-on-2. And Canadian trying to get a shot up, but doesn't. And it will be Young picking up the double kill onto Pojo and King George.
Wow, that was a roller coaster of a round. What we saw there from the defenders, they absolutely they held out that tunnel. They were like, no, you can't have it. But so what did B3 do? They weren't like, oh, okay, we're just gonna force this out. They decided, all right, let's go around to the other side of the map and let's just forget about the tunnel. And it worked. They just forced their way in.
Through putting so much pressure on that tunnel at the very start, it seemed like they've maybe not tricked, but had forced FlipSid to pay more attention to it, allowing the push from garage tunnel.
And you're definitely right. And you got to factor in also, there was a guy on that camera for that Valkyrie, and there was a smoke ready to trigger that smoke, and there was a Valkyrie playing in the tunnel itself. So you had 3 people focused on denying that tunnel.
Yeah, and as you saw, easily Ash came right in, picked up 1 kill, picked up 2. Now, it was unfortunate that right at the very end, both of the FlipSid members, I think it was Smoke and Valkyrie, lined up for basically the double shot right there.
Yeah.
Because they had downed the Capital. It was only one attacker left to kill, but they just lined up, and unfortunately that's what cost them, I think.
Yeah, Young was playing really good there on reserve, making sure that they didn't lose the round. Obviously, they had the bomb plant. They didn't need to play super aggressive, and Young was in the right position at the right time, and they did, like you said, they kind of lined up for him.
5 seconds left.
So with that, we do have one wall still left needing to be reinforced. Canadian might go ahead and get that. No, it looks like NVK will.
Yeah, it is basement's a pretty big. You got to get all those drops, and there's a whole bunch of different things to do, especially as a Jaeger. You got your barbed wire, you got your ADSs. So a lot of reinforcements come in late on a site like this.
Yeah, now this is something we haven't necessarily seen before, is keeping the wall between church and the garage tunnel closed off, except for the very top piece.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not entirely sure, honestly, what they're trying to do with that. But maybe they're trying to deny the drop from inside church. I'm not really sure. I'd like to see how that plays out.
Yeah, they could actually just maybe not deny, but at least see it.
Yeah.
And then call it out that they've dropped.
Yeah.
So definitely some, like you said, some very new things, but little tweaks that you haven't seen before.
Yeah, no, and like we were talking about earlier, is that there's not a whole lot fundamentally you can change on this defense. But those little things, the little tiny changes, that's what makes or breaks a strat, especially on a club basement defense.
Yep. All right, and with that, King George has already managed to get his drone down the bottom of the main stairs. Looking to get some more intel. Bar drop has been opened up into the Moto, and Thermite will also get the stock drop. So this seems more like a typical push that we've seen in the past.
Absolutely. This is looking like they're going to try and go for church wall. I'm not 100% behind this from FlipSid. This is a little outdated, to say the least. We saw it in the Season 2 World Finals. Everybody knows about this strat. Everybody knows how to counter this strat. I want to know, I'm not sure if this is going to play out for them.
Yeah, and seeing as how it looks as though there's one, possibly two, that might push the garage tunnel, it is seeming more and more like the typical strat. But again, this worked for them for a few rounds in the LAN finals, so maybe they're hoping to get one lucky one and then move it on to something different.
Well, this is a little bit, it's a little bit different than the LAN finals. Obviously, they're not going to be getting open the church wall because they already used 2 thermites, but I don't know. I don't want to see. I just want to see how it plays out, to be honest.
Yeah, and coming down the back tunnel is going to be Blackbeard. Let's take a quick look over at him as he moves in. Ash is also going to push in, and so is Thermite. This is where the push is going to come in, but Necrox picks up a kill onto Mint. NVK trading it off into H&C, and Pojo Man is able to get Necrox. Now coming up from behind is King George, killing NVK. It's now a 3-on-3, 40 seconds left to go. Pojo Man, all three of the defenders all three of the attackers have managed to make their way either into church or inside the blue hall. Retro's inside of the arsenal room, just sitting back by the lockers. Young is inside of the church now. Retro picking up that kill onto King. It's now all up to Pojo and Easy Peasy. Pojo has managed to make his way, and he sees Pulse, is able to just evade the couple shots. Easy Peasy's trying to get in to get the plant down. 15 seconds left to go. He's got to get out of that barbed wire. He's stuck on it. Canadian's going to get the shots onto him, and now it's all up to Pojo. Nowhere near the diffuser. He's got to get 3 kills. 5 seconds left to go, and he cannot do it. Canadian is there to pick up the shots onto Pojo.
That was a really good round from B3 you saw there. They set themselves up for the long angles, and okay, so FlipSid, what were they doing? They were getting really aggressive. They were trying to get picks. They dropped into blue, and I think they did actually manage to trade one back, but they still kind of lost some engagements to the guys close up there, and after they did debunk those guys, they were losing to the long angles from the armory side. They were trying to get into church, get that plant down, but they just couldn't get in because the long angles were open. Retro was playing towards blue and really just kind of shutting it down.
Yeah, and actually what I liked about B3's defense right there was it trapped the attackers inside of that garage tunnel. We saw 3 of them in there. Now, from where the angles were, we'll take a quick look here. Where the angles were, there was a murder hole down at feet level on this side.
Yep.
And you had head level on this side.
Yep.
Now, when the attackers drop, there's only 2, or you can cover this entire room with 2 angles.
Yep.
You cover this way, you can see if they're coming through the hall here, and if they're in between the 2 crevices here right by the generator, all you have to do is have someone from this side shoot in and wallbang. So they basically had the entire place covered without a single actual walk-through hole, and I think that's a unique little thing I wanted to point out there.
Definitely, definitely. It was, created kind of a, what do people do on attack on basement? They take blue.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Okay, well, instead of trying to hold it, create it into some way of killing the enemy. We know they're going to go into blue. Let's go ahead and kill them when they come into blue. Let's make our lives easier.
Yeah. And with that, Retro is going to open up the cave entrance again, construction entrance. King George just gets a Valcam placement right in time. Will back out, and they're going to, again, push and keep a lot of resources here.
You know, honestly, last time they did this, what did they do? They lost a player. They straight up lost one guy. So I'm curious to see if they'll learn from their mistake the last time and just open it to distract them. Just to try and keep resources invested in this area. I want to see that from them. I'm really hoping NVK doesn't try and push in there.
Yeah, seeing as how it ended poorly for him last time, I agree with you. I think he should just maybe put a couple ghost shots, keep them interested in this location, and then rotate around while the rest of their team finishes coming down the garage hallway. We already see Ash is right in the stock room, opened up some of the floor there, and was able to get rid of some of the barbed wire. Now Thermite used up both of his exothermic charges. Now, it looks as though they're getting ready to make a push down the main stairs, which, again, putting pressure from all sides is exactly what you'd expect.
Yeah.
Located by attackers.
But some good intel here from Young, being able to get his drone inside a church and identifying Smoke and Bandit.
This is a slow-moving round coming from B3, but obviously they're trying to be cautious, understand that one wrong move will end up costing them probably quite a bit. They are playing against FlipSid, you know, not exactly a slouching team.
Yeah, and so with that, Canadian's able to spot Mint inside of the construction entrance. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to incendiary this off, drop down, and try to get the shots right onto the cave entrance. But 60 seconds left to go. Still a 5-on-5. Not much engagement between the two teams just yet. Still seems like they're setting up most of the strats here. But Canadian's going to drop pre-fire, but Mint is already dead.
Oh.
And Canadian's able to pick up the shots onto Easy Peasy by dropping. And Young also able to get the shots off. So inside of the cave tunnel is going to be Canadian downing King George and finishing him off with the pistol. Young, though, able to finish off the round onto Pojo.
That was a really good move by Canadian. He saw his opportunity and he took it. And to be honest, I'm a little disappointed in FlipSid. They were not watching the blue access. They just weren't.
Yeah.
Now you might say, well, Kickstar, he came around the corner and he pre-fired the guy watching blue. No, that's not watching blue. That's holding blue for the push. And he was holding blue for the push at the most common angle you can possibly hold blue for the push.
Yeah, I do want to note there that kill right at the end by Young was just a pure wallbang headshot. So
wow,
that was a really nice shot. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to. We were watching Ash or Capital try and do his stuff. But
yeah, that's
wonderful
pretty cool.
shot.
But yeah, no, Canadian, he took advantage of the fact that nobody was watching blue, and he just went in, he pre-fired the spot where, I mean, even if you don't have a drone, you're gonna pre-fire that location. That's pretty much the most common spot that you can expect someone to hold it from. And ipso facto, he's got the site, you know, there's not a whole lot else going on there. That's why I think you, generally speaking, need to invest probably one less person in holding the construction tunnel and one more person in holding blue.
Yeah, and it seemed like the FlipSid tried using the same strat they did before that didn't work for him, and again, this didn't work for him. There's just too much attention on that construction tunnel.
Yeah, they're really, B3's taking advantage of that. I mean, obviously you can see, typically speaking, they want to push into construction tunnel. You can tell by the way they're handling it. But they're being really cautious. They're saying, okay, you've got construction tunnel, well, maybe we won't mess with that. You know, we don't really necessarily have to, and it's working out for them.
Yeah, and at the very end of the first round, where FlipSid, I think it was Valkyrie, came out of construction tunnel into kitchen, you saw Blackbeard just waiting for that again to happen. So he didn't make an aggressive push. He more played the passive angle, the passive role there, and fortunately for him, he didn't have to do any kind of engagement.
Yeah, no, trusting. I think he just, he really trusts his team, and honestly, I would too, given the situation.
And so Easy Peasy's playing Buck up top on the gym entrance. Opening up the hatches. He's going to make most likely have a push inside of here.
Yeah, no, so it looks like they're setting up for a pool take. Now, it's a pretty common take. I think it's more common these days than a stock take. And this is the round for FlipSid to turn it around. Obviously, B3's up 3-0 right now. And I'd like to see from FlipSid, I think they could really pull this round off. This is definitely their round to go ahead and turn it around.
Yeah, and so with that, they were able to spot Pulse on those back stairs leading up towards the master bedroom and gym. And King George is going to take one last look to try and clear it out.
Better safe than sorry. It's pretty easy to go ahead and cut off the rotation, and it looks like they're doing just that to upstairs from the window on the stairs. And as soon as you have that cut off, you can move your buck in there, open up above the defenders in A, and just pretty much debunk the entire site, get some smokes down, and plant the pool table.
Yeah, and Pojo's still inside a church here. The wall was opened up towards the pool table. I'm sorry, not church, and stripper. And he's not seen anyone, but they know he's there. They know a Blackbeard is on the team. They know a Blackbeard is going to be inside a stripper. So you can see Retro just barely out of sight, waiting for that push to come on in. And right above Young is going to be an entry point that King George was able to open up. Now this is a really unique angle, but unfortunately it's right by the pipes, so it's going to cover up Young just enough that he doesn't get shot himself.
I really like that angle that we saw earlier from Retro. It's passive yet aggressive. It's going to allow him to deny the plant on people trying to go in towards target board without getting killed from Blackbeard. It's very, very good angle right here.
Yeah, Hot is managing to get inside. Canadian picks up the shots onto Easy Peasy, but Hot's like, no, too much fire going on. I'm going to back out. He comes back in, though, right at the perfect time to get Canadian, but Young C4 is there to meet him, and right after that, King George is able to pick up a kill onto Necrox, though, and it's all up to the remaining 2 attackers. Mint on top of the gym, and King George coming down the bottom of the back stairs is able to nail Young. Mint's also trading it off onto NVK. Now it's all left to Retro. Retro's right by the bar. He picks off one. Can he get the second shot? No, not just yet. Retro's over here, and it's going to be Twitch trying to make a push. Does the Dolphin dive? Not enough time. The defenders are going to win. And I was expecting the push right there, and Twitch just missed it by a few milliseconds.
Yeah, that was, wow, that was an intense round. First, I got to say that C4 by Young, that was beautiful. Perfect timing. I saw Hot and Cold. He tried to fake it out. He knew that C4 was coming. He was like, okay, let's back out of this pool table, wait for it to come. But the timer started running down. So he's like, all right, we got to go back in. C4 came out. That locked that out. But the aggression from Ash on that Valkyrie downstairs, I did not expect that. And they almost got that round.
They were very close. And I think Ash was just saying, look, I've got a little health. I'll try to get up to pool, get the diffuser, and start the plant. You come in behind me and pick up the last remaining kill. And Ash got downed, wasn't able to fulfill her duty, and Twitch had already used a lot of his ammo.
Yeah, it looked like Twitch was trying to reload there, like you said, and I think she was using the revolver. So when you're in a panic situation like that, you know, the timer's running down, all you have is a revolver, you're going up against a Rook. He's got a whole lot of HP, you know, you kind of miss your shots, and obviously there's not a whole lot to go back on.
Yeah, and we were talking about, hopefully we're going to see a little bit of change here.
What is this?
And we're seeing a top bomb site inside of the CCTV room and the cash room. Now, this is something unprecedented here in the Pro League.
Yeah.
As much as Clubhouse has been played, these guys are going to be one of the first teams to purposely choose this bomb site.
I think a European PC team has done it once before, but I don't remember when. I don't remember the name. This is something I'm really interested to see how this plays. I want to know so bad if this is gonna work. As a professional, like as an ex-professional player, I just want to know.
Well,
I just want to see.
When it's 4-0, you're down. You gotta lay all the cards out, and I think these guys are going for a Hail Mary here, and I'm really hoping that it works out here for FlipSid.
Yeah, I'd love to see some more rounds on Clubhouse from these two wonderful teams.
Yeah, and so with that, you can see that Easy Peasy's been able to open up the entry point into Garage. They're not going to barricade it like a lot of teams do, and he's actually going to hold it from Garage. Now, this is a really nice angle onto the window.
Yeah, you know, there's not a whole lot of reason, honestly, to cut off the Garage, because what do you lose when you have it open as a defender? Not really anything, because how are they going to get up there? They're going to climb that ladder. What are they doing when they're climbing that ladder? They're completely exposed.
Yep.
So as an attacker, you don't really have access to that gangway, and as a defender, it just gives you more berth. It gives you more options.
Ooh, and coming in at the bottom of the stock room is going to be King George picking up NVK.
Yeah, and if I had to guess, I'd say all 3 of those cameras are probably in the site, and you can tell they're trying to hold it from beneath with that C4. They've got Pulse down there, they've got Mute down there, they've got Valkyrie down there. They're ready.
Yeah, and coming in, that nade from Young outside by Kennels will pick up the shots onto Valkyrie. Pojo's got his C4 in hand, gets out of the way just in time, but Young's going to try to retreat on over. Pojo with the shotgun. Can he get it? He's looking at the wrong way, and it's going to be Young comes on in and picks him off. Pojo, though. Oh, no. Pojo was able to get the shot onto Young. He also gets the C4 kill on the Canadian. Necrox, though, trades it off onto Mint. It is now all up to Pojo. 2-on-1. Necrox and Retro are up top. The diffuser's getting planted. Shotgun from underneath. He spots one. Oh, can he get it in time?
So
Not
close.
yet. So diffuser gets planted, and now it's Pojo. He has to come up these main stairs, and they're going to watch it. They need to watch it. Although I think Necrox has already managed to make his way over to the garage, so he's just going to watch this here. 1 health and a shotgun and a dream. Now Necrox is ready for the push here. Tries to wallbang it right here. Not going to happen just yet. He turns at the wrong point. Necrox tries to get it, and he gets the shots on the Pojo with the 1 health remaining.
I wish I had seen that snap from Pojo. He C4'd that ceiling, and he just turned. He got that shot off on Young trying to push him. That was beautiful.
Yeah, we were watching Pojo because I wanted to see, hey, he's right here. He knows that there's a push inside a stock room.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, he looks up and throws C4. So I'm like, okay, let's go back and look at Young, who's making a push in. And
Pojo managed to get it back. That was pretty crazy.
Annihilated. Great job. Great shots by Pojo, but unfortunately just was not enough to secure that round.
Yeah, a 5-0 coming from B3. I did not expect that.
No,
not
me
at all.
neither. Me neither.
I don't think anyone did.
I mean, the number 2 team in North America placed 3rd or 4th. I don't know their final standing. 3rd or 4th in the world for the Pro League. And this is a map that they're very familiar with, a map they love to play.
You know, it could be under practice because you're not necessarily saying they're slouching or anything like that.
Yep.
But for example, when I was playing on Orbit GG first season, what was our best map? Freaking Hereford, man. We loved Hereford. It was we absolutely decimated at that map. Going into the second season, not so much. We lost behind. We got behind real far on the meta, and we were like, oh, we don't really know how to play this map anymore. So you know, metas change, strats change, and we saw. I saw clear as day. B3 had way more advanced strats on that map. It seemed, you know, I like the idea from F3 to try and defend cache, but I just feel like the execution could have been done a little bit better. I mean,
a little bit better. I think their setup was nice. I like the utilization of Castle to get away from, okay, we want to cut off bar.
Yeah.
They utilized 1 Castle wall there. I'm sure they utilized 1 in the stock room, but it got opened up. That's where Blackbeard came in. It's where I believe it was Ash. No, Ash came in from upstairs. But in either case, that push there, I think Castle was utilized well. I think Mute was well. I like the operator choices, but like you said, the execution is what could have been done a little bit better.
Yeah, no. It seemed kind of like you said earlier, a Hail Mary. Like they were trying to figure out something on the fly. Maybe it wasn't super practiced. Who knows? But now I just want to see what happens on Hereford because Hereford could be anyone's map. Between these 2 teams, like you said, we haven't seen a whole lot of Hereford. I have no idea. Yeah. Like this is who knows? Maybe FlipSid can bring it back, bring it to a tied game. That'd be pretty awesome.
Gotcha. Well, we do have everyone still in lobby here. No remakes yet here. So with that, we are going to start on Hereford. Now Hereford is the map that FlipSid Tactics has chosen.
So maybe it's their favorite map.
I'm thinking it's one of their maps. Maybe they're throwing a curveball because they realize that, hey, B3 probably hasn't practiced it. But all the Pro League teams, I feel, needs to have some experience on all the maps that they're willing to play.
You know, Hereford was huge in the first 2 seasons. It was a much bigger deal. So I'm guessing that these guys are probably, if they haven't practiced it, they will be able to fall back on the strats that they already knew from the past. Anything's possible.
Yeah, and starting it off, not seeing any of the, except for Twitch, not seeing a doc, which we haven't seen all day today, or for NAPC. Blackbeard's still making an appearance even after his nerf, and I think that's wise. I mean, he's not useless. He's just more balanced, and I think a good Blackbeard player can still get the shots off, can still be very effective, even with 2 individual shields at 150 coverage.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Blackbeard's by no means, you know, like you said, he's not useless. Honestly, as in a personal sort of opinion, I would prefer Buck, especially on a map like this. I think the reason they may have picked Blackbeard is because they were expecting to attack basement, which I think is what we were all expecting, by the way. But on an upstairs attack, a Buck is probably going to be a lot more useful. You can take upstairs, clear it top to bottom as the attackers, go ahead and get position above the defenders on the first floor, and you can open up most of the sites. So. Yeah, I would on this attack. I'd like to see Buck, but again, I think they were expecting to attack basement with a lot more tight angles, less destructibility.
Yeah, definitely. You can see that through their operator choices, like you've been talking about.
This is weird.
Seeing as how it's a first floor pick.
Yeah.
I like the structure of it. I like the magic behind it. We'll call it.
Yeah. No. Definitely. Like I said, I think I've said this before. My team used to defend first floor first because we just felt it was our personally stronger site. Everyone has a personal preference, and sometimes things work for others more than they do for another team. I think it has more flexibility. There's more openness to it. So a team like B3, they are tuned to having options.
Yeah, and so looking at the defensive setup here, we just saw Castle, and he's sitting on those back main stairs, closer to the top, or closer to the second floor, utilizing those castle walls pretty effectively.
Yeah.
Now, here we get underway. We're still half the round left to go. NVK and Castle, I believe, are the only two that are trying to play up top. Let's take a quick look over here at Young. Young's still on the cams. He's inside of the TV room, just getting as much info for his team as possible. Great cam placements, though, by him.
You know, honestly, I really don't like the way FlipSid is addressing this attack right now. I would like to see from them a clear from top to bottom. I don't see much, like, to be honest, the best way to take a first floor is to clear from top to bottom.
We are almost 2/3 into the round here,
Yeah.
and not a single person has entered the building except for Pojo, who's already inside of red. So, like you said, it's a very awkward push.
Yeah, I'm not sure they, not sure they know what they're doing exactly here. They did get into, they got the garage open, but that's not, you can't really push that as an attacker. You're not very likely to win that. There's so many ways for a defender to counter a push into garage. It really is just to deny angles. That's all that. That's all that is. Putting Blackbeard on there, trying to make sure that you have a chunk of the map taken away from the defenders.
Yeah. Now King George got some great intel there, spotting Rook and Smoke. He's going to come around and pre-fire the door. He gets one onto Retro, tries to get the second, but will be down from the drop hatch as Pulse looks on through. And with that, 30 seconds left to go, a 4-on-3. Hot and Cold going to try to get rid of some of the ADSs. He's thinking someone moved into Piano, and Mint is there to try to get the coverage. And meanwhile, over inside of Garage, it's going to be Pojo picking up the shots. Looking over back here at Mint. Mint's trying to wallbang, not getting a shot off yet, but Hot and Cold gets up onto the table and is able to get the diffuser planted. With that, Pojo gets injured. I'm sorry, the diffuser did not get planted. Canadian picked up a double kill and goes for the triple.
Wow.
And gets all 3 remaining attackers to take the win for themselves.
That was honestly wonderful from Canadian. Looks like, how did he get there? Did he come through Piano?
No, he wasn't in Piano. That was Smoke. And that was, Pulse must have dropped, I'm guessing, possibly into Kitchen, came in through the hole.
That was Castle. He either
that Castle, okay.
He either A, came through the window into, jumped out this top story window into the B window, or B, he dropped into sandbags through the drop down, went through Piano and went in through that way. I'm not sure. Honestly,
I'm thinking,
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like he may have dropped from, if we look over here, in the office's drop hatch, came down into Kitchen.
Maybe.
Because there was a big hole that you can come in through this doorway.
Maybe.
And then he was just able to pop off onto Hot and Cold, who was sitting right on top of this table here. So,
that was a really good round from Canadian.
Really good round from Canadian.
Honestly, that round was I'd say that was entirely defender-sided. I would have liked to have seen from FlipSid to try and take from the top down, because the roamers allowed them to, okay, sure, they got the pick on the Rook, playing in sandbags, but then what happened? They got traded back by the roamer on the second floor. You really need to, you have to shut down the roamer on that site. You have to. And in order to do that, what do you have to do? It's real simple. Top to bottom.
Now, playing Hereford.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was just about to say, playing Hereford, you said your team when you were on Orbit and on Orglitz, Hereford was a map that you practiced and knew a lot of.
Well,
now,
in Season 1 and 2, yeah.
Yeah. Where does reinforcing 3 out of the 4 walls here come into play?
So we've seen this before. This is, I can't remember what we called it. It was it had some kind of funny name, but it's basically the opposite of a pentastrat on the basement there. You stick 2 people behind, one behind each shield, and you basically invest a whole bunch of resources in keeping those 2 guys alive. And it's honestly really hard to debunk these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying that they're messing up or anything.
No,
I'm saying this is a very, we'll call it unique or odd strat that I haven't witnessed before.
This is okay. So this is like when you're attacking Clubhouse Basement. What do the attackers do? They either go for blue in construction, or they go for Moto and stairs, or Moto and blue, whatever the case be. This is like the switch up. This is the change. This is trying to play it in a way that is not exactly predictable. Now, a lot of teams in the North American circuit, they know about this strat. And they'll sometimes use it. It's really just a mix up. That's all it is. I wouldn't say that this is the sort of thing that you would want to play like recurringly. It works sometimes, but it's really honestly pretty easy to counter. You can just go ahead and not play the locker wall, not play delivery, and attack them from the locker or the ladder drop. And yeah, it looks like that's what they're doing.
Yep, ladder drop just got opened up. Hot and Cold was forced to get out of there. He's now going to rotate over to the B-bomb side along with his buddy, but Canadian's able to pick up the shot on the Mint. Now, Mint was inside of A, I believe, so that's 1 out of the 2 men down inside of there.
Yeah.
Easy peasy, trying to get the shot onto Blackbeard inside a locker, but Blackbeard's managed to evade the bullets. So 60 seconds left. We see Capitao trying to make a push down the main stairs. He sees the bullets, sees the blood, I'm sorry, inside of A. Now, is there more than one? He's not quite sure just yet, but Hot and Cold trying to get a nice angle onto the stairs as well as Pojo. Now, Pojo's got a little bit of a crevice right here, but I'm not quite sure it's going to be enough to get Canadian as he comes on down in moments to spare. NVK's inside, tries to wallbang. King George gets down just in time, hits the deck, and Canadian is here again on the stairs trying to push on down. With that, Retro picks up the shot onto Pojo. It's now a 5-on-3, 30 seconds left to go. Young and Thermite are inside of the ladder room. Again, trying to get some more kills, and it's going to be Canadian coming down the stairs, making the push on the King, but also getting a team kill from Young. It's up to Easy Peasy and Hot and Cold against the 4v2, 15 seconds left to go. Easy Peasy's inside a ladder, not going to see anyone, but he might just see, okay, there he goes, he gets the shot on the Necrox, and now Easy Peasy is down inside a locker from A. Canadian picks up the shot onto Hot and Cold, and it's going to be B3 taking round 2.
Wow, that round was just waves. That round was adaptation at its finest. There was a whole lot going on there. Basically, all right, so they saw they were playing the, let's call it the shield strat on basement. They saw, okay, they're trying to counter that door. What do? We just isolate them in there, because what is that room? It's a room with 2 doors, and only one of them the defenders can go through. So they kept them trapped in there. They're like, all right, let's go through ladder, which is easy to do, honestly, and let's try and go straight into B, which mix it up. But the guys in B, they were like, no, we're not going to let you do that. So they flat out turtled. They stayed alive. They did their job. So what did B3 decide to do? They're like, okay, we can't get the guys in B now, but we're in ladder. Let's just force our way into A. And they did exactly that. It ended up working out for them great. That was just like a whirlpool. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was, I mean, kill after kill after kill. You saw trading going off left and right. And I mean, like you said, they were able to have really good instantaneous analysis of the situation.
Yes, like that's really, it was honestly really impressive to watch.
But now we're seeing more of a traditional hold from the basement site where they're opening up A as much as possible to alleviate just a clear push in from the trench.
Now this is kind of interesting to see from B3. I mean, it's dangerous, but also not. Because everybody and their mother knows how this strat works. Yep. And it really just comes down to who wins those engagements, and if you have some kind of genius plan to counter it. I'm interested to see how FlipSid handles it. I think they're probably just going to do a standard take on A. They're going to open up lockers, open up delivery, lay down those smokes, try to get the plan. That's what I expect to see. But I could be wrong. Who knows? Yeah,
I mean, Hot and Cold is already, or I'm sorry, King George has already managed to make his way up here. Now he hears an ump. Whether or not he knows it's a pulse or a castle, who knows? But now Canadian has given away his position. And King George is just going to sit here and wait for the drone to come, but a pre-fire around the corner from Canadian will nail King George down to 5 health. And that's the power of Pulse. Being able to spot that on the stairs, he's going to take one last glance upwards, and he will spot King George. So he's going to come around here and try to pre-fire once more. Let's take a look as he tries to do this. He's actually going to say, nope, I'm just going to fall back down. He already cleared beneath him with his heartbeat sensor. So with that, he's going to leave King George up there to take a little bit of more info for himself, a little bit more time to get down.
That was definitely the right move from Canadian. He lit up Ash, but he didn't need the frag, and he knew that. Now what has he done? He's wasted like 40 seconds more?
Yep.
And that's all you got to do as a roamer.
Yeah, and so with that, I believe right before the drone was killed, it did spot Pulse. So King George should have an easier entry point downward now. But Pojo's up here inside of the office. Now right above kitchen, C4 went off, dropped him down to about 510 health. Now we've got 2 of the attackers very, very low on HP against a full set of defenders. Now this is going to be very tough for the attackers to try to make this push. 60 seconds left to go though, and they might be able to pull it off. NVK though is saying, nope, die King George, you're already low on health, let's just finish you off.
Yeah, no, this round is down to the last 56 seconds now, and they've barely even gotten into the building. They don't seem to have made much progress. I'm a little worried for FlipSid right now.
Yeah, this is odd from what we've seen from FlipSid in the past, but maybe they're just trying to work out some kinks in their strategies, and this might be the forum they're trying to. But nonetheless, Pojo's managed to get out of the office, get out of the kitchen, and now he's back going towards the standard push you'd expect it from a Blackbeard.
Yeah.
And as you called it earlier, some nades are going in. Going to get rid of the ADSs. I believe Thermite's already inside a locker, utilizing the new smokes from 4.2 onto Thermite. Colt's going to make a push in, takes a couple bullets for going across the locker. NVK's able to pick up Mint. Easy Peasy and Pojo are both very drastically hurt. Necrox is able to pick up Hot and Cold, though, as he tries to get in for the diffuser. Easy Peasy will also be downed. Pojo's able to kill off Young, but NVK is able to come up from behind and knife Pojo.
You know, I'm a little disappointed in that take. The take on the basement defense for Penta, the basic Penta basement defense, it's really simple. It's real simple. Thatcher gets rid of the ADSs in the site. You throw grenades, get rid of the barbed wire. Somebody lays down some smokes, and you go in and plant. So what didn't happen? First of all, no Thatcher. They had a Twitch, but she didn't do her job. She didn't get rid of the ADSs, which means the grenades. They did not get rid of the barbed wire, which means when Thermite threw his smokes, it didn't end up doing anything because he got stuck in the barbed wire, just got sprayed down. That take was all over the place. Not to mention, we're talking about they wasted how many minutes? Like two and a half minutes?
Almost 2 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit over 2.
Yeah.
Just trying to clear out top floor.
And here's the thing about their attack there. That is one of the very few attacks where you do not need to clear out roamers. There's very little reason at all to do that. And they wasted not just time, but HP doing it. So, and then they just gave up.
Yeah,
so
there's, like, from outside, like you said, you don't really need to go after the lurkers.
No.
You can take one good spot out by the camera, almost, by Trench. You sit out by there, you can watch all the tight angles that you can just have someone pop out of.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm a little worried for FlipSid right now. 0-3. I want to see them bring this back. I want to see them win this round. This needs to be it. I'm curious if they're going to be doing. Are they doing the shield strat again, or are they just going
take
for...
a quick look over here. They are not. They're going to play more of the standard role that we just saw B3 win in. And I think this is more in their comfort zone.
Yeah.
I think they've been working on some different stuff, little stuff boiling in the pot here.
Well, when I talked about it earlier with the shield strat, you know, it is like I said, it's just it's a mix-up. You know, it's to throw them off their game, try and get them to do something they wouldn't expect, but it didn't end up working because what did B3 do? They adapted because they've seen that before.
But it looks as though we will have 2 roamers upstairs. It looks as though Min is inside of the garage, and King George at the moment is on cams, getting a lot of intel. Knows that all 4 of the defenders are out, or 4 of the attackers, all 5 are outside. He's able to spot all 5 from a single cam, and they have no clue just yet.
So Min being in the garage, that's kind of a Season 1, Season 2 thing. The position used to be viable until everybody figured out how many different ways you can wallbang somebody in that garage.
Yep.
Honestly, it's kind of a death trap. I really hope he doesn't get killed in there.
Yeah, but looking at Young, he's got a perfect cam at him.
Oh, no.
Oh, right there. He's going to try to make the push in.
Oh.
But Jaeger said, nope, I know I've been spotted. I'm just going to back down into the ladder room.
Very wise from Mint.
Still, King George is up here inside of the master bedroom. Hasn't, at least if he has been spotted, they haven't made an attempt to push him.
Now, this is the same thing that we saw from last round. The roamers are really just absolutely denying, like they're wasting so much time right now. But at the same time, it seems as if B3 has made a little bit more progress towards their goals. It looks like they're trying to go for the same attack that they did last time, despite the fact that FlipSid is doing a standard Penta defense, which is interesting.
Yeah, and so Retro's, this is that angle I was talking about earlier, where he's able to hold a lot of different pushes. Valkyrie's ready to come out, and Retro looks and picks her off.
Wow.
She's down, but not out just yet. But there's not going to be a defender trying to get him back up. And with that, Hot and Cold's able to get 1 kill. Necrox is able to trade it off onto Mint. So 4 on 3 right now with King George being injured up top. 40 seconds left to go. And the diffuser is in the hands of Retro, coming down into Trench. We already have Ash inside a locker, throwing out the smokes. They're going to try to make an entryway into the A bomb site. Young's covering the flank from behind. Hot and Cold picks up Retro, though. That's going to be Thermite paying the price. Canadian's able to get the headshot on the Pojo. And now the last 2 attackers, except for Young, are going to be inside A bomb site. But Young picks up the kill. Canadian and Retro each take 1 as well. And that's going to be B3 winning round 3 right here.
This is scary.
I'm sorry, round 4.
Yeah, round 4. This is scary. Now we're in a 4-0 situation right after a 5-0 on the last map. I cannot imagine right now how demoralized FlipSid has to be, but they need to bring this back. If not to win the map, but for honor's sake.
Yes.
I mean, this isn't what we expected at all. I mean, we're talking about FlipSid versus B3. We're not talking about any, like, it's FlipSid. You know, this is a good team. So, and they're right now, what are they at the top of the scoreboard?
They are at the top of the scoreboard. They've
Right.
had 2 wins, 1 tie. They're tied with Orgla's GG.
So this is not what we expected.
Yeah, and so unfortunately, it seems like FlipSid might be having an off night.
Yeah.
And
Expect
I'm
something
going
like
to
that.
chalk it up to that.
Yeah.
I know these guys personally. I know they're a great
Excellent
set
team.
of a great team
Yeah.
and a great set of players. So the fact that we're seeing such, we'll call it poor performance from them, is disheartening.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, you know, we all have those days.
We do.
We really do. I mean, for example, my first Pro League match ever, right? It was just, it was a train wreck. You know, we got destroyed. So, you know, it happens. It happens.
Yeah, and so B3 is going to set up the split bomb site like they did the first time. And this shield, a lot of people don't put a shield here, but these guys do, and that's to cover in case a Blackbeard decides he's going to rappel up that platform and try to look down the hall. So I like the shield being there. It allows the defenders to rotate back and forth between the bomb sites and run around second floor without having to worry about that peak.
This is an interesting hold. They're trying to, I think they're trying to isolate half of the second floor in order to utilize it to hold A. Because obviously, some of you may or may not know this, when you're playing in A as a defender, it's kind of a death trap. There's not a lot of flexibility in there, and you can be pretty much killed from the other side of the map just through the wall. You don't have enough reinforcements. There's no way you have enough reinforcements to get that wall, so it's kind of interesting the way they're trying to...
Ooh, and there's Pojo peeking in after the flash and is able to pick up Canadian. Great drones there.
Interesting that he was on that side of the reinforcements after reinforcing it. Not sure what his plan was.
Yeah, but NVK is able to trade it off, picking up Hot and Cold, who is their Thermite. Now, luckily, Thermite's not too needed on this map, especially if you're going to go for a garage or a B bomb push. And it looks as though they might be trying to do that. Now, NVK's holding this angle again. Min's going to try to go for a peek. I think he's looking down the main hallway, though. He's not going to see anyone just yet. Just over half the round remaining. Pojo still holding onto this window, making sure that no one's going to come on through, because peeking from there, you're able to see all of the tire space out there.
I'm a little worried right now.
Ooh, and NVK picks up the double kill onto Mint. Necrox is also able to take out King George. So with that, it's all up to Pojo and Easy Peasy. These are the last 2 remaining attackers. If they can't secure this round, they can't clutch it, it will be B3 taking the round 10-0 today.
Jeez.
So Pojo trying to find some angle. I'm sure he's confused as to what to do right now. We've got Easy Peasy peeking in, looking at holding the angle onto Piano.
You know, this is a little sad. Basically, this whole round from FlipSid, you want to see strats, right? You want to see an idea, a plan. Well, what did we see this round? They lingered outside and tried to challenge angles, and that's not how you attack first floor. That's just a good way to die.
Yeah, B3 has been dominating the map today, both maps. And we see Easy Peasy not turning the corner just enough. He thinks Young is gone, but he's still there, and NVK is able to pick it up. So all onto Pojo, who's able to pick up 1 kill. It's still a 1v3, 25 seconds. Plenty of time to still get around and kill the people, but it's not going to be enough because Retro's turning the corner and able to pick up on Pojo. And with that, we see our first 10-0 of the entire Pro League series.
And that's not just our first 10-0. That's our first 10-0 on the first seed in North America right now.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's monumental. A fantastic showing coming out from B3. So I think we're going to be doing some highlights.
Yes, in just a few moments here. So just to wrap this match up, I